The worst loneliness is not to be comfortable with yourself. A good marriage is the union of the two. Good forgiveness. Patriotism is supporting your country all the time and your government when it deserves it. When a man loves cats, I am his friend and comrade without further introduction. Why shouldn't truth be stranger than fiction? Fiction, after all, has to make sense. Too much of anything is bad, but too much of good whiskey is barely enough. Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Wisdom is the reward you get for a lifetime of listening when you would rather have talked. It is curious that physical courage should be so common in the world and moral courage so rare. Now and then we had the hope that if we lived and were good, God would permit us to be pirates. When you find yourself on the side of the majority, you should pause and reflect. Never argue with stupid people, they will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it poured. Censorship is telling a man he can't have a steak just because a baby can't chew it. It usually takes me more than 3 weeks to prepare a good impromptu speech. If you don't read the newspaper, you are uninformed. If you do read the newspaper, you are misinformed. Do something every day that you don't want to do. This is the golden rule for acquiring the habit of doing your duty without pain. Life is short. Break the rules. Forgive quickly, kiss slowly, love truly, laugh uncontrollably, and never regret anything that makes you smile. Will courage you will dare to risks, have the strength to be compassionate, and the wisdom to be humble. Courage is the foundation of integrity. A Christian is a person who wants to give up great things in a real life, for mediocre things as in an imaginary one. More importantly, they demand you do the same. It is better to keep your mouth closed and let people think you are a fool than to open it and remove all doubt. Good breeding consists in concealing how much we think of ourselves and how little we think of the other person. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what I would rather have my ignorance than another man's knowledge because I have got so much more of it. Grief can take care of itself, but to get the full value of a joy, you must have someone to divide it with. Let us make a special effort to stop communicating with each other so that we can have some conversation. Thunder is good, thunder is impressive, but it is lightning that does the work. We chase phantoms half the days of our lives. It is well if we learn wisdom even then, and save the other half. Do not put off till tomorrow what can be put off till day after tomorrow just as well. I have never taken any exercise, except sleeping and resting, and I never intend to take any. Censorship is telling a man he can't have a steak just because a baby can't chew it. The secret source of humor itself is not joy but sorrow. There is no humor in heaven. Patriot, the person who can holler the loudest without knowing what he is hollering about. Why is it that we rejoice at a birth and grieve at a funeral? It is because we are not the person involved. There are several good protections against temptation, but the surest is cowardice.